Let me fucking scoot back a little so I don't punch the microphone.
Hey, come listen to our podcast, yeah. Please listen, it's a hitch. If you don't listen to our podcast, yeah, then you are a bitch.
Maybe that one.
Welcome to Filmoscopy, a podcast where three friends gather around to discuss a film that one of them has selected for them to go over that week, discuss, you know the drill. You've been here a while. We've got like the same 10 people listening to us every week. Capiche?
Thank you guys for listening. You guys are great. Even my own girlfriend gave up on us.
Really?
That's fucked up, dude.
She's like, I'm just tired of y'all's bullshit.
Yeah.
Now I can just say shit that I know would get her mad, and I don't have to talk like, all right, guys, yeah, that girl, her chest is kind of full. I can
say whatever you want, I guess. So.
But that chick has some big old titties.
So today we are discussing the Jim Carrey film The Mask, and joining me as always is Lance and Owen.
Oh, what a rush!
I was hoping.
Hey, that's Road Warrior Hawk, baby.
I was hoping someone would pull an iconic line from the movie, like "Somebody stop me."
Now, I was thinking, since today is so monumental, be like, I'm the best in the world.
There is one line, and I was watching this with Lauren, and when it happened, we both said the same thing. And the line is like something like, "Women like that only want the BBD." The bigger, better deal. And I was like, oh, big black dick.
Dude, there are so many, like, sexual innuendos and, like, just straight up references to sex in this film.
Pulls out a condom.
Yeah.
Like a used condom.
Yeah. I was telling Stephanie about that earlier, and I was like, obviously, as a kid, that just goes over your head. You don't know what it is.
Yeah, you're just like, what's that? Is that a funny balloon?
But it's just like, watching it this morning, I'm just like, man, this is, I don't see how any parent would let their kid watch this with some of the jokes and stuff in it. But again, I guess it's one of those things, like, kids don't really understand what BBD is really, like, referencing and condoms and, all that stuff, so...
Yeah. Was that intentional? So the BBD line, is that intentional?
I feel like it probably was. Like, because he even, like, that's the way it's delivered, right? Because he's like, the girls like that only want one thing, the BBD. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah.
And then, like, later
big
on, when they're in Landfill Park and he turns into the mask, he's like, he says something about her being a rose bush, and she makes him thorny.
And he's like, I'm going to dip my fucking croissant in your pussy or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. I don't remember what he said. So,
but yeah, it's like, it's very there are a lot of sexual innuendos in it. But before we really get into the discussion, let me go over the basics, right? And I just want to say I'm very excited to cover this because, as I mentioned when we recorded our last episode, I recently learned about the fact that this was based on a comic book series, and the comic book series is drastically different from what this film is. So I'm excited to talk about all that, about how it came to be what it was. But let me go over the basics. So, The Mask, released on July 29th, 1994. It stars Jim Carrey as Stanley Ipkiss. It stars Peter Green as Dorian Tyrell, the mobster or whatever. Cameron Diaz is Tina Carlisle. Peter Reigart is Mitch Kellaway, and you've got some other like smaller part. Oh, Ben Stein is the guy that writes that book, The Mask We Wear. He plays Dr. Arthur Newman.
Bueller.
Which most people probably know him as the dry eye guy. Dry eyes.
Yeah.
And also the Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, Bueller.
Oh, I guess I've only seen that movie one time, so it was a long time
the
ago.
Pixies. The Pixies from Fairly Odd Parents as well.
Oh,
if anybody
yeah.
remembers that.
Yeah, I completely forgot he was in that. Fairly Odd Parents, man. Adam West is Catman.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So the film had a budget somewhere between 18 and 23 million, and it brought in a box office of 351.6 million. It was directed by Chuck Russell, who had directed films such as A Nightmare on Elm Street 3. He directed the Blob remake from the late 80s, and would later go on to direct The Scorpion King. So, quite the little filmography he has going there. So the film, like I said, is adapted from a comic book series called The Mask. And before we go into any further of the film, I'd like to dive into that. But I guess before we go into that, let me get your first general thoughts on the film and what your previous experiences are. And we'll start with Owen.
Oh, okay. So my first thoughts were kind of, my question is, do you mean like overall, or do you mean when I was first watching?
No, overall. Like, what are your overall thoughts on the film after watching it for this recording?
I'm surprised that I actually ended up liking it. Not like I didn't fall in love with the movie, but it's okay. It's a good watch. I think that surprisingly enough, what is his name? I literally just had his name in my head. I swear, every time I'm on this podcast, like fucking all grammar or names just get flushed from my brain.
Pondubitably hit record the button. But duh.
Yeah, I like fucking lose like 10 IQ, like a fucking 1,000 IQ points.
Jim Carrey?
Yes, Jim Carrey, for God's sake. I kept wanting to say...
I said that like a minute ago, too.
I kept wanting to say, like, fucking Jesse Ventura for some reason. Combine, like, fucking his other movie with a wrestler.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene.
But Jim Carrey, surprisingly, I liked him in this movie. I think he can be kind of overbearing sometimes, but he's pretty good in this. Oh, I know, blasphemy. I know you guys are both '90s kids, so that probably hurts. But
it does.
But you could probably turn around and say the same thing about fucking Mike Myers, and I like Mike Myers.
I like Mike Myers. I was gonna say, Adventure Time sucks. That seems more like your generation.
Oh no, I fucking hate Adventure Time too. I think it's lame.
It's a cartoon for kids with ADD.
Yeah, cartoon for Tumblr fucking users.
So what was your first experience? Was this your first time watching the film?
Before this, I had watched Son of the Mask, and I have no recollection of that piece of shit. I just remember in Son of the Mask, the dog also gets the mask again, right?
Yeah, I believe so. And
okay,
and it's like, I think the dog is like the only connection to the original film besides the mask itself.
Well, also the therapist, the one selling the book, Bueller.
Yeah.
He's also in that movie. I looked that up on Wikipedia.
All right, so what about you, Lance? Is this your first time watching it, and what did you think of it after watching it for this recording?
No, I'd seen it when it got released to home video. This movie came out around the same time as Mortal Kombat did on VHS, or vice versa. I mean, they were pretty close. Either one of the tapes, I saw a preview for Mortal Kombat on the Mask tape, or on the Mortal Kombat tape, I saw a preview for the Mask, because they're both New Line Cinema properties. I liked it when I was younger. Not so much now. I am a big Jim Carrey fan, and when I go back and watch the Ace Ventura movies or Liar Liar, I have a lot of nostalgia for those movies. I think they're great. Mm-hmm. Like, I can still quote both Ace Ventura movies like the back of my hand. This movie wasn't in my wheelhouse as much. I probably watched it like at least 2 times before I watched it this time. And I don't know if it was like we had just seen a couple about a month ago, I guess. Roger Rabbit, and seeing the actual Looney Tunes, and then seeing it happen in a live action format, because everything he was doing was either Looney Tunes or just Jim Carrey overreacting, and stuff like that. And the thing is, like, the scene, like, when Jim Carrey does the smoking at the end when he kisses her, and he doesn't have the mask, like, everything he does normally is completely overshadowed by him in the mask. And I just, like, after a while, I was like, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm not a kid anymore. I just don't have a nostalgia for this movie. It kind of wore thin. I think Jim Carrey's great. I love Jim Carrey. Like, there's not a thing that guy can do comedy-wise. Yes. There's a movie, like, a lot of people don't like, but it's called Yes Man.
Oh,
I'm pretty
I
sure
love
Cody
Yes Man.
introduced me to that movie.
Oh, my God. I wish you
I can't
would
remember
step
the
back
guy's
from
name.
that ledge, my friend. I fucking love that movie.
Well, what about when he's hiding behind in the guy's car? He goes, "Hey, don't freak out." And the guy's like, "What the fuck?" He drives into traffic. It's the guy who was doing the seminar for him. He goes, "Hey, I can't remember his name." He goes, "Hey, Phil, don't freak out." He goes, "What the fuck?" Just guns it into fucking traffic. Like, so I love Jim Carrey. Like, everything that he would do, I think he's awesome. This movie is kind of irritating as I rewatched it. I was kind of waiting for it to be over with, and I mean, this is just me. Like, I don't know. I would have loved this stuff as a kid because, again, it's very Looney Tunes inspired. He does the Pepe Le Pew thing. Mm-hmm. He does that little fake wolf thing where he hits himself in the head with a fake hammer when he's watching her dance and he's oogling. That's all straight up Looney Tunes ripoff. Or homage. I wouldn't say ripoff, but it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of irritating when I rewatch it. I'm not trying to be negative about it because there's some parts about this movie I did like, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So for me, I'm the same. This is something I had on VHS as a kid, and I would watch it a ton as a kid. Even just like the opening scene with like where there's the divers and they're like finding the box that has a mask in it and all that. I don't know what it was about that scene that just as a kid I was like in love with it. Maybe it's just the way it was shot. My mind was my little kid
I love
brain.
water.
Yeah, bubbles.
You're like doing the bubble. That is kind of a cool, and it's a cool effect. So I don't blame you. You like the guy when the dude gets crushed by the pipe.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah, I was always confused. It's like, is that guy just a diver and then there's construction work happening above him?
No,
is he part of this crew?
My take on it is that they're down there because they're installing some kind of like maybe sewage pipe or something underwater, and maybe he sees the box that's chained up and he's like, "Oh, let me cut this open to see what's in it," and then they drop the pipe breaks off of the chain or whatever and hits him.
It's pretty fucked up, man.
But yeah, so I had it on VHS as a kid, watched it all the time. It's been, before watching it for this, it's been a long time since I'd seen it. I can't even remember how long it's been. But watching it again, I love the movie still. Like, it literally had me laughing out loud at multiple parts. There are some of the CG work in it doesn't hold up really that great, especially when like Max gets a hold of the mask.
Yeah, that's when it's rough.
Yeah. But most of it is still acceptable. It's not like.
Yeah. Didn't this won like an Emmy or some shit for best effects, right?
It got nominated for best effects. It got nominated in the Academy Awards for best effects, but it lost to Forrest Gump.
What kind of effects does Forrest Gump fucking have?
That's what I was thinking too.
I don't know. Maybe isn't there like a butterfly or something flying through the shot in like the beginning of the
feather.
Movie? The feather.
The fucking bullshit ass feather that probably took like one day to model.
I know they went in later on and added Jedi Rock to Forrest Gump, and Owen hated it ever since.
Oh wait, you
So,
know what they did in Forrest Gump? They fucking like green screened him into those historical fucking sections where he's like talking JFK or whatever.
Yeah, you know what? Those are really impressive. So
Yeah, they do look pretty real. So
yeah.
Well, the best part, I still quote it like every day for some reason at work. When he's talking to JFK, he goes, "I have to pee."
I quote that
And
all the time.
JFK
too.
goes,
this boy has to
That boy
pee.
"That boy says he has to go pee."
Oh man. So yeah, like I said, I mean, I still love this movie. So much so I feel like rewatching it already. But
I liked the set design a lot. I know this is kind of like a tangent, but that's something that instantly stuck out to me was just the way it looks. I don't know if I just really enjoyed that. I thought it looked really cool.
yeah, because it does look cool. It kind of reminds me of the set design, or maybe it's just the way the filters or something about it. It kind of reminds me of like Batman and Robin for some reason.
Yeah, I can see that. It definitely has like, just the weird colors that go on, and it feels like a neo noir, like mixed with like kind of a comic book. I know this is based on a comic book, so, but yeah.
Yeah, it does have like
a
a fake comic book city look to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just, probably just the production value of like, Batman and Robin came out probably like 2 years after this or 3 years after this. And the fact that Jim Carrey's in both movies.
Well, he's in Batman Forever.
Oh, forever, whatever, it don't matter. One of the two. Oh, hey, real quick, while we're talking about Batman, I'm sure you guys don't care if I spoil this.
Is it about the Flash? Because I do care.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, Cody, mute your headphone real quick.
What?
I said, take your headphones out real quick.
I can't. I gotta.
He still has to listen to the episode.
I know. Anywho, the one thing I'm surprised that Jim Carrey has never been. Maybe he's been asked and he said no. That Jim Carrey hasn't been brought on into like one of the comic book movies like in recent history.
Yeah.
Let's be quite honest. I know he's like an over actor, quote unquote, as some people say, but he's probably the best reactor in a scene to everything. Like taking like a ludicrous dialogue or whatever it may be and just manifesting it in just the way he acts. He's fucking great. Just go back and watch Liar Liar. I mean, that movie's fucking incredible. I love that movie. And he's great as Jim Carrey. I think Jim Carrey. The bad part about Jim Carrey was everybody got sick of him because he was in every movie at that point because he hit a real high spot.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that probably turned him against the movie studio, like movies in general, and he weren't in so much. But he's a great fucking actor, and he's never changed. Like, even he does, he's just
even in his
awesome.
dramatic roles, he's really good.
I think he's a pretty good even after I said that I'm not such a big fan of his comedy, which I mean might be a hot take, I know, but I think he's a fine actor. He's pretty good.
Hot take, man. We're about to kick you off the fucking podcast after this episode.
Yeah. I don't know what you said. What'd you say?
No, I said it's a hot take. We're gonna kick you off the fucking podcast after this episode.
I got
it. There was a silent agreement between me and Cody. He's like, yeah, we're kicking them off. We just communicated with each other over text message.
telepathically.
Yeah. But yeah, like another one of his movies that I think a lot of people are like, this is kind of a stinky movie that I really, really like from him is The Number 23. I know it kind of got made fun of at the time because it's like, oh, look, the numbers are everywhere. But like, man, I really enjoy that movie. And again, he's great in it,
Yeah, he can do anything. He just got shoehorned. It's like, he got stuck in that, hey, do another dance for me, monkey, type of thing. Like, this is what they want you to do. And this is what made money. Like, kids love Jim Carrey. And, like, your generation and my generation that grew up with Jim Carrey fucking love him. People after him go, well, Mike Myers is really good. Mike Myers is fucking terrible compared to Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
No offense, Owen.
Nah, I don't blame you.
But he's,
like I said, Mike
especially
Myers.
just compare.
He's not that good of an actor.
Just compare the Grinch and the Cat in the Hat, for God's sake.
The Cat in the Hat's a
Yes,
good ass
exactly.
movie though.
Oh my
Yeah, I
god! I
bet.
just want to take the cat in the hat out back and put him down.
But
He's a classic.
It's like-
Yeah, no, Mike Myers has no acting chops. I will be the first to admit. My
Unless
man
it's
can
Shrek.
Well, it's
only
also like-
do characters. Oh yeah, Shrek's pretty
You
good.
oh yeah, the Shrek's good. I'm not going down Shrek, but like you have a generation, like every generation there's an actor that gets shoehorned into something, and they get stuck with it. Like in the 80s into the 90s was Leslie Nielsen playing that deadpan cop or deadpan character that always looks at the screen like, what the hell is going on type of deal. And he's great in the Naked Gun movies, and Cody will be the first to admit it because I had him watch it.
Oh yeah.
Then
those
you
movies
had
are
like
great.
Jim Carrey. Do what?
I said those movies are great.
What'd you? Oh, okay. I thought you said. I don't know if those movies are great. Like, hold on,
Oh.
Cody. Hold on. But you had that. You had Jim Carrey. You had Mike Myers. Then you have like Will Ferrell, and Will Ferrell was like a big thing from like 2002 until I'd say probably 2014, and then everybody kind of got sick of him, and now he doesn't do anything really. But
What
he's made his money.
What about fuck, what is
Daddy's
his
Home.
name? What'd you say, Daddy's Home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it. Who's the guy who plays Donkey Kong in the new Super Mario Brothers movie?
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, fuck him, dude.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Seth Rogen too.
Whoa, I'm like fucking Donkey Kong or something.
I watched. So, side note about Seth Rogen, I watched a YouTube video the other day on First We Feast, and it was I guess they do this thing where like they have two actors kind of like swap childhoods, their favorite snacks or whatever, and it was Seth Rogen and Ice Cube, and Ice Cube has Seth Rogen cracking up so much in that video. So like 3/4 of it is just Seth Rogen like laughing his ass off.
Whoa, Ice Cube, you're so funny.
There's like Ice Cube's, like one of Ice Cube's snacks or whatever was Red Vines, and he's like, you know, they introduced the Red Vine or whatever, and Ice Cube's like, Twizzlers eaters, go kill yourselves, and then Seth Rogen's just like, you know,
Whoa, no way. I can't believe you said that.
Seth Rogen, he's done a good job. I guess he was the producer of the new Ninja Turtles movie, which has like a great score.
yeah,
And
he
fans
also,
love it.
dude, I really want to see that movie, but I'll wait for it to come out on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, honestly, that does look interesting. Like, I am interested in that as well. It looks really cool.
It's incredible that, like, obviously Into the Spider-Verse is like, we're just now seeing the start of what that movie is inspired, because the Ninja Turtles movie is very clearly inspired by that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great, thanks.
No. Seriously, like
I never
distracted, so
watched
kinda-
Into the Spider-Verse. I'm sorry. I have no
Well,
opinion on that movie.
I've never watched them. I know people have. I mean, they're universally acclaimed, which is funny to me. I guess people universally acclaim them because they're Spider-Man, not realizing those are purely Sony productions. Like Disney has nothing to do with those.
I don't know if it's necessarily because it's Spider-Man. I mean, obviously, it's a great Spider-Man story, and I love what they do with Peter Parker in that movie, and the animation style is incredible.
Yeah, it's
and
just I think
looks
people
like
relate.
Well, it even looks like a moving comic book. Like, it's awesome. Like
Oh, that's true.
you guys
yeah.
really should like take the time and like watch that first film. I haven't watched the new one, but I hear it's also pretty good.
All right, real quick before we get back to the mask, Cody, you did say you liked the Naked Gun movies, right?
Yeah, I said they are great. Like Tony the Tiger
Okay.
peddling his Frosted Flakes to children.
Hey, look, those Frosted Flakes are fucking still good. I just had a bowl.
Hey kid, you want a bowl of Frosted Flakes? They're great.
I just smoked a bowl.
I just smoked a bowl of flake. All right. So let's.
Was that a Seth Rogen laugh?
I can't do Seth Rogen's laugh.
Hey,
Whoa,
when they
Mario!
released the-
You're so fucking small, dude.
Hey, when they released the trailer to Rise of Skywalker back in 2019, And it does that kind of epic music, and then you hear the Emperor laugh at the end of the trailer, like somebody edited to where it's Seth Rogen laughing, like the same day it got released.
Dude, I had like a fucking shower thought when we were watching The Mask, and I was like, why hasn't anybody taken Halloween and like edited like William Shatner quotes over like fucking Mike Myers trying to kill Laurie?
Well, it was funny. Shatner didn't know up until like a few years ago that the Halloween mask was based off his face. Like in reality, it's a Shatner mask, but they widen the eyes out. Mm-hmm. They put that black mesh behind the eyes so it covers the eyes, and then they paint it gray, and they kind of get the hair where it's kind of fluffed up, so it really doesn't look like Shatner anymore.
Yeah. I mean, once you hear about it, though, you can kind of see the resemblance, like kind of in that neck jawline area.
Yeah, I find it hilarious that it was something that he didn't know about. Mm-hmm. That's just fucking funny to me. Real quick, what do you? There's a little trivia note I got about Cameron Diaz. I think this was her first movie, or at least her first big movie. What do you guys think about her in it?
Hold on. We'll get to that because I do want to talk about the casting and all that because there's like some crazy shit that they were wanting to do with the cast in this movie. So before we get into the film itself anymore, let's discuss the comic book series, right? I don't want to go over every little bit because they did do an initial run of like 3 arcs, and then they kind of like put it on hold for a long time, and then I think after the film and the animated series came out and were pretty popular, then they brought the comic back for more runs. But the initial run, which was just called The Mask, of course, the first arc was called The Mask, and that's The Mask Returns, and then I believe The Mask Strikes Back. That's the 3 arc run of the original comic. Stanley Ipkiss is only in the comic for a few issues, and then he's killed.
I think he's the first arc, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in the first.
No, you're right. Because I read.
He's in the first arc, but he only makes it through like half of the first arc. So
yeah, his ex-girlfriend shoots him in the back. I read that.
Yeah, so basically the comic book is like dark. It's violent, and Stanley Ipkiss is a villain when he puts the mask on. He's presented as like
I noticed that in the movie that he seems kind of like he's like it's a setup for a villain, like because he's kind of an ass because like he's like pushed around, and then he finally gets this mask to do with like whatever the fuck he wants to do with it. So like then he goes on a spree, like he robs the bank and shit, like like shoves mufflers up mechanics' asses.
Yeah,
and I'm like, damn, dude, this guy has like a dark streak.
Yeah, so
I really thought when Owen went like, yeah, I thought he was talking to somebody like his girlfriend called him. And I also thought about L.A. Knight going, yeah.
So
yeah. Sorry.
I think the best way to sum it up, I want to read over the Wikipedia overview of that first arc, right? The arc that involves Stanley Ipkiss and how that ends. So I'm just going to read it word for word as it is on here. I know that's I could have rewritten it myself or whatever, but this is just the easiest way to do it.
I think this is
fine. I read a whole fucking page out of a book last episode, so.
All right. So, in an antique shop, a weak, neurotic man named Stanley Ipkiss shops for a gift to give to his girlfriend, Kathy. At the store, he purchases an old jade mask, which begins to speak to him. When Stanley wears it, he is transformed into a wacky, superpowered being with an abnormally large, bald, green-skinned head and a mouthful of large teeth. After exploring his new abilities, Ipkiss goes on a rampage, taking revenge on those with whom he has a grudge and earns the nickname Big Head. After taking the mask off, Stan begins to realize what has been happening. His acts as Big Head begin to take an emotional toll on him. He becomes verbally abusive toward Kathy. She kicks him out but keeps the mask since it was a gift from Stanley. Later, Stanley breaks into Kathy's apartment to steal it back, just as the police arrive in response to an earlier housebreaking call. Deciding his only way out is his Big Head, Stan puts the mask back on and kills multiple cops during his escape, in addition to causing a great deal of property damage. He returns home as Big Head and removes the mask, preparing to leave the city, only to be shot in the back and killed by Kathy, now wearing the mask, who figured out the identity of Big Head and donned the mask while Stan's back was turned after he took it off. Kathy takes the mask to Lieutenant Kellaway for safekeeping. Kellaway, who had been struggling with both the recent Big Head murders and organized crime lords on the loose in the city, disregards Kathy's warnings, believing she is stressed and not thinking clearly, and tries on the mask. Becoming Big Head, Kellaway sets out to take down the crime lords who have plagued his police career. City dwellers, not knowing of the magical mask, assumes Big Head is still the same killer whose targets are now high-profile crime lords. Despite Kellaway's good intentions, the mask causes his methods to become increasingly more violent. Big Head encounters Walter, a behemoth-sized mob muscle man who never speaks, who has undertaken a vendetta against Big Head for killing his employers. Walter never shows pain and is the only one who can injure Big Head to any real degree. While fighting off Walter's attacks, Lieutenant Kellaway, as Big Head, becomes the target of a police manhunt. Big Head fights off the police and tracks down the remaining mobsters. When Kellaway's partner attempts to stop Big Head, the mask-altered policeman nearly kills his friend and colleague. Kellaway, realizing what he has been doing, flees. He removes the mask, buries it in his basement in cement, and vows never to let it be worn again. So, that is the arc, the first arc that is just called The Mask. As you may have noticed, his name is not, he's never referred to as The Mask in that initial run. He's referred to as Big Head. It's not until the film and the animated series that he's referred to as The Mask.
Dude,
but yeah, and obviously the story is
like
very different from what ended up being put to film. Right.
Yeah. A lot more convoluted.
Oh, yeah. And you know, Cody, if you would go over, I know it says in Wikipedia on the character overview of The Mask, he's based off quite a few comic book characters, like wrapped up in one.
Yeah, so it says that he's based off of DC Comics, Marvel Comics, and horror movies characters such as the Joker, the Green Goblin, Freddy Krueger, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and Steve Ditko's version of the Creeper. And yeah, I think I mentioned on the last episode I had seen a still of a comic book panel of the Mask, like asking, I guess, criminals that he's confronting or whatever, who wants to see their entrails on the outside. So it's like it's very dark and brutal. And when it was pitched to New Line, originally it was pitched as a horror movie, and New Line was going to try and make it into their next big horror franchise, probably because Nightmare on Elm Street's time had basically started running out by this point. And when they signed,
Jason investment wasn't working out either.
Yeah, when they signed on the director Chuck Russell, he was off-put by the violence and the gore and all that from the comic book. So he's the one that's responsible for kind of turning it into what it became. Although there were several iterations of a script written. So there was one idea for the film that was they were going to turn the story into one about a mask maker who takes faces off of corpses to put them on teens and turn them into zombies. Glad they didn't do that. That sounds awful.
At first I was intrigued. I was like, mask horror movie. That sounds kind of cool. And then you said that. I'm like, okay, that sounds fucking stupid.
Yeah, so they did do other scripts, right? So there was someone named Mark Verheiden, who, let me see if he's actually credited as one of the writers on here. No, so Mike Werb is the one that wrote the final script. But Mike Verheiden, Mark Verheiden, sorry, basically did two versions of the script. One was a comedy sort of style, I guess, but then, or maybe he was the one that wrote the initial horror film. Then he rewrote the script, or made a second draft of it in 1991 that added more humor, and it included, it says it included more instances of fourth wall breaking, like cameos by critics Siskel and Ebert, and dark content such as excessive bloodshed and sexual assault. The characters Stanley, Kellaway, and Doyle were in those initial scripts, and they carried into the final film, of course. Stanley's girl had a girlfriend named Kathleen, who eventually evolved into Tina Carlisle. And there were two characters named Scully and Vitelli, and they became Dorian and Nico. And then basically after that last rewrite that he did, the film went into development hell until Mike Werb was brought on by Chuck Russell, the director. Again, just for those not following along, Chuck Russell brought on Mike Werb to rewrite the script because he had read his script for the Curious George movie that was pitched at the time, which the Curious George movie didn't end up coming out until like 2005 or 6, something like that. And they turned it into this, comedy film that it is. It says that he wrote his first draft in less than 6 weeks, and then less than 2 months later, it was greenlit. So, I understand why it was pitched as a horror movie, because that's kind of like, if you look at what the content of the comic has, it kind of does come off more like a horror film and not really a goofy comedy movie.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
the final product, I think, is much better for what it was, because I don't know necessarily if they would have been able to. I would love to see them do a new movie now and maybe like do it more like the original comic. But then again, I guess the mainstream probably is more aware of The Mask and The Son of the Mask being like comedy movies, so that may be what they're expecting. But who knows?
Yeah, this is the type of thing that the movie has probably influenced the source material going forward versus that. Because could you imagine like if The Mask or Miss Big Head or whatever was a bigger deal as a comic book character, like to the general audience, and they knew that the core of his character was changed just for a movie, just to have Jim Carrey in the movie. I think a lot of people would be outraged. Let's say if they changed the Joker in this style to make him more like a fun-loving and he's not really killing people and all this other shit. That's a pretty big change. So it's pretty cool that they took a lesser-known property and just kind of flipped it to what it wasn't meant to be or ever was going to be at that point, and made it more well-known. Even though, like, really the movie's the highest point of this franchise.
Yeah,
and then everything
definitely.
else is kind of downhill. Like the animated series is kind of. I've never watched it. I did read that the last episode of the Mask series was a crossover with Ace Ventura, and that was a Kickstarter for the Ace Ventura series.
Yeah, and then I think they says that the Mask character also comes back during the Ace Ventura series for an episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never watched that stuff. I guess it just wasn't on the channels I was watching at the time. I'm not sure what the fuck I was watching at the time, to be honest with you. Probably just stuff at my grandparents' house, so I was riding around my granddad. But
yeah, so let's talk about the cast or the casting process, right? So Jim Carrey wasn't really a big star at this point. He was still doing sketch comedy in Living Color when they were casting for the role. So the initial suggestions for the role included Rick Moranis, Martin Short, and Robin Williams. Also included Nicolas Cage and Matthew Broderick. But a New Line executive sent a tape of In Living Color to Richardson. Who's Richardson? Probably the... Hold on.
That's the sound of looking up. That's the sound of the internet. Yeah.
Or the sound of two raptors calling to each other.
Clever girl.
Oh, okay. Mike Richardson is the founder of Dark Horse Comics. So, sorry, I just had to clear that up.
Rest in peace, Dark Horse.
Is it dead? I don't know. I don't know if it's dead. I think it got bought out by somebody, didn't it?
No, I don't think it's.
It still exists.
Yeah, it still exists. I just what I was thinking was they used to do the Star Wars comics, and then Disney.
Embracer Group bought them, which I don't know how that's going to turn out since Embracer Group is like starting to lay off a bunch of people and close studios and shit now. Because Embracer Group is like primarily a video game like conglomerate.
Yeah, I think I've heard of them.
Yeah.
They fucked up like a bunch of games that they bought out or something.
Yeah, so they like bought Volition because they bought Deep Silver, the publisher, and so Volition was part of that, and then they just shut Volition down a couple days ago, and which is like just that sucks, man. But anyway, that's a different topic for a different thing. So anyway, he sent a tape of Jim Carrey to On in Living Color to Richardson, the founder of Dark Horse. And Richardson was impressed, and especially because of like Jim Carrey's like body or physical comedy, right? The director Chuck Russell had already seen Jim Carrey performing live, and he watched In Living Color, so they were really like looking forward to casting him. At this point in the casting process, the only other two options really were Nicolas Cage and Matthew Broderick. All the other ones were dropped. And honestly, I cannot picture any of those other actors making this movie what it was, right? Like, could you imagine Nicolas Cage being the Mask? That just sounds weird.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, Nicolas Cage is kind of an over actor himself.
Yeah, but I just don't know if he could nail that comedy, though. That's the thing. Maybe he would have been good for, like, if it was still, like, that darker version of the film.
I mean, the main character, is mostly played kind of straight. It's really just the Well, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. Maybe Robin Williams I could probably see doing it.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, I think Robin Williams is good. He's another guy got pigeonholed with, like, his acting skills, but he's great at doing like whatever. So real quick, Ace Ventura hadn't come out at that point.
It says that Ace Ventura: Pet Detective came out in 1994. This also came out in 1994. So yeah, this released earlier that year. But I guess Jim Carrey, when they cast Jim Carrey, he still wasn't really considered like a big movie star or anything yet. Because I get the casting would have been before Ace Ventura released. Let's continue on. The other bit of casting I want to talk about is the fact that Anna Nicole Smith was actually the one that they wanted to be Tina, but she was busy making another film called Naked Gun 33 1/3, The Final Insult.
Okay, let me say something. Okay, I know Anna Nicole Smith looked all funky there at the end, but she looked like a real woman then. And there is the funniest scene. I think Cody remembers it. But she's making out with Lieutenant Drebin, and they've been teasing like her and him having sex. And you see him on his knees looking up at her, and you see her shadow in the room. And she takes off her clothes, and you see the outline of her breast. And then all of a sudden, you see this dick pop up. and Frank looks down, looks up, looks down, and he gets like he's throwing up, and he looks at the camera, and then he runs off, and they're at the Academy Awards. So you see James Earl Jones and another actress from a soap opera walking on stage, and you see Frank Drebin running on stage, and he throws up in a tuba that the band has off screen, and she goes, "What the hell is that?" James Earl Jones goes, "Looks like Phil Donahue puking in a tuba." It's fucking stupid. Phil Donahue was like a '90s talk show host too, and he looked just like Leslie Nielsen. It's incredible. Oh God.
So yeah, once they weren't able to get her, that's when they had decided to have Cameron Diaz audition for the part. She got it. The character was rewritten because originally, I guess Tina was going to be a good girl who actually turned out to be a bad person, but it was rewritten. Yeah, it was rewritten to be where Diaz was just genuinely good, and it seems like I wonder if maybe they took that idea and instead like wrote it in for Peggy because that's kind of what she ended up being.
Yeah, I like that because it keeps you on your toes as the audience. You know, subverting your expectation of the femme fatale. You think it would be the traditional jazz, you know, singer lady who's in with the mob, but it's just the lady who's the fucking reporter. So
right,
that was fun.
It does do a good job, and I had completely forgotten about that because when the movie started and Peggy's introduced, I'm like, okay, in my mind, I was like, I seem to remember Cameron Diaz's character Tina ended up being like she's just really in love with the mask and doesn't really care about Stanley, and Peggy's the one that he ends up with. But you know, so it threw me off when Peggy like betrays him, and I was like, oh, okay, like I didn't even remember that happened in this.
Peggy, damn it, Peggy.
Peggy, you can't be selling guns out of this bookstore.
Yeah, I like how Peggy's character just fucking like goes away. Like we're done with her. Never to be seen again.
She got her money. She's done.
Yep.
So yeah, let's see here. Yeah, so Lance, earlier you had asked if the Ace Ventura had come out at this point. Apparently, the filming started in August of 1993. So Ace Ventura, and it concluded 2 months later. So Ace Ventura wouldn't have released for another 4 months after this was filmed. And I think Ace Ventura is what really put him on the map as a film star.
I knew they came out pretty quick. It's pretty amazing having an actor like a movie is such a corporation now. Like you wouldn't have somebody like 3 months later release a movie because they'd still be doing press for one movie or something like that. So it's amazing because I think New Line Home Cinema also did Ace Ventura movies. I could be wrong. Let me check real quick.
Ace Ventura.
I think I talked about this on the Mortal Kombat episode. Every New Line Home Cinema, like either theater release or movie release, like VHS, they would play the New Line Home Cinema like music, and you would have that what you saw at the beginning of this, like the little movie reels going onto the black background, and it says New Line Home Cinema.
Iconic.
And then they would do the exact same title sequence, but they play a music from the movie right after it. So it would be like back to back. It was always, I don't understand why they did that back then. But.
So Ace Ventura was distributed by Warner Brothers, by the way.
Okay.
The Mask was New Line, and then later that same year, Dumb and Dumber released. That was distributed by New Line.
Really?
It's like, holy shit! Like what a year for Jim Carrey, man.
That's how, I mean, that can launch you into the spotlight for sure, man. I know there was a movie that he did. I think it was Ace Ventura, maybe, that did so well it pissed off Tommy Lee Jones because one of his movies come out and it bombed at the
No,
box
it was
office
Dumb and
because it was
Dumber.
competing with it.
So yeah,
it was Dumb and Dumber. Okay.
Yeah, so the story goes that when it was like the night before they were going to start filming Batman Forever, and Jim Carrey went to some restaurant and he saw Tommy Lee Jones there, and he thought, okay, I'll go introduce myself because you know they're co-starring in this film as the two villains. And he introduces himself, and like Tommy Lee gets up and he like gives him a handshake and pulls him in, and he basically told him he hates his guts and that he can't stand his. He said some old man word like tomfoolery or something like that, and it was all because Dumb and Dumber released at the same, I think maybe even the same day as one of Tommy Lee Jones' like biopics or something that he was in, and Dumb and Dumber just absolutely obliterated it in the box office. So,
which Dumb and Dumber is a great fucking movie.
That's tomfoolery if I've ever heard it.
I cannot tolerate your shenanigans, Jimothy.
And it's funny that Tommy Lee Jones said it because it's tomfoolery and his name's Tommy.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do Dumb and Dumber one day because I know me and Cody can quote that movie back to front.
Don't worry, Lance. We're doing Dumb and Dumber. So, you all want to run through the plot real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Mockingbird, no, everybody have you heard?
Everybody, have you heard? Have
Lance
you
or
heard?
Owen will understand that reference soon enough.
Why?
I think
Why
about
would
the part?
You'll see.
I think about the part, Cody, when they're sitting there by the fire pit and they're freezing, and Harry's like, "My hands are numb, they're freezing," and then Jim Carrey goes, "Yeah, man, why don't you take my extra set of gloves?" And he goes, "Extra gloves? You've had extra gloves this whole time?" He goes, "Yeah, we're in the Rockies." And then when they're going the wrong way before that, though, and they're like, "Man, it's just flat plains because they went in the wrong direction." He goes, "Man, I thought the Rocky Mountains would be a little rockier than this." And Jim Carrey goes, "Yeah, that John Denver's full of shit, man."
So stupid.
Oh, God, man. I love Jim Carrey so much.
Oh, that movie's excellent. So the plot of
Yes.
this film, we'll run through it kind of quick, and talk. Just stop me if there's any moments y'all really want to discuss. All right. So the film follows Stanley Ipkiss.
Stop!
He's a bank.
Okay.
I'm okay. I just wanted to test to see if it was going to work.
So Stanley is a banker. He's he's a hopeless romantic, and he has a friend named Charlie who also works at the bank. And Charlie's like, "Hey, I got us a way into the Congo Bongo Club tonight, which is the hottest spot in town. It's the hottest spot in can't remember what the damn name of the city is now. Edge City, I think.
Yeah, Edge City. That's right.
Okay, hottest spot in Edge City, Congo Bongo. So it's like, cool, let's go to Congo Bongo. But first, Tina's gonna make her way into the bank, right? So she stops in. Charlie's got a big old boner, and he's like, "Hey, let's come over to my desk, and I'll help you out." She's like, "No, actually, I think I'm gonna sit here with old Stanley." So she kind of flirts with him, talks about his tie. He says it's a power tie, but it's supposed to make him feel powerful. But we know that's not really the case. And she actually has a hidden camera in her purse, and she's filming the bank vault, because she is working with the mob. So she's trying to help them get footage so they can end up performing a bank heist later on. More on that later. So that night, Stanley and Charlie go to the Congo Bongo. Charlie pays off the bouncer so he can get in, but the bouncer doesn't realize that Stanley is with Charlie. So when Stanley tries to go past the rope to get in the club, the bouncer is told by Dorian to get rid of him. So he throws him out, lands in a puddle, he gets his suit wet, stands up, he's trying to rub it off, and then a car drives by and splashes water all over him. Classic. So while he's sitting there, I forgot, he went to a mechanic earlier in the day to pick up his car, which is a 88 Civic, and 88, yeah, I think it's 88 Civic. And they were like, "Oh, well, I know you brought it in for an oil change, but you also need a new transmission." He's like, "What the fuck, bro?" And they're like, "Go get the loaner." The loaner?
The loner?
The loner?
The loaner? You talking about the loaner there, Charlie? So they bring him this big heap of shit of a car that he drives to the Congo Bongo.
That car's a classic, actually.
Well, yes, it is.
That's a 1934 Ford Model B, actually.
Is it
I'm
really?
a bit of no, I have no fucking idea.
I was like, what the fuck?
bullshitting.
I was like, I don't know. It looks a little too new for 1934.
I'm just bullshitting. I have no idea.
Well, actually. So, while he's soaking wet from the puddle or from the car splashing water on him, Tina shows up and she's like, "Stanley, what are you doing here?" He's like, "Oh, just kind of hanging around." And then the valet driver brings his car up and he's like, "Your car, sir." And he's like, "That's not my car." And he's like, "It matches the ticket." He's like, "Fine, I'll take it, but I'm not happy about it." And that's the first time I laughed out loud at this movie. So he kind of is like all googly eyed over Tina, but then he leaves. Oh, I forgot too. No, I guess this is when he finds the mask. He leaves the club. He's driving home, and his car breaks down on the bridge. And then he sees something floating in the water, which we already kind of talked about. There's that opening sequence where the diver like cuts the box open and the mask floats out. But he sees something floating in the water. He thinks it's a person, so he like goes in to try and save them. But it's just a bunch of like trash and sticks.
It doesn't even look like a fucking person. Like,
yeah, it's like.
I was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" This little prop.
What you don't know is that Stanley Ipkiss has night blindness. So
yeah, he must have. 'Cause it's fucking just a pile of trash, motherfucker.
But hidden amongst this pile of trash is the mask, and he decides to take it home. So he's looking at it at the house, and it's like I don't remember what he's doing with it, playing with it, diddling it, and finger blasting the eye holes, and it like shimmers, or he starts to put it up to his face, right, and it starts like suctioning to his face, and he pulls it down, and he sees it shimmer, and then he puts it on anyway. Real, great idea. So it turns him into the Mask, who is this like over exaggerated cartoon character essentially, and what we find out later on is that it kind of brings out like the more like the deeper, like the true personality, I guess, of the wearer, and since he is like a hopeless romantic and he loves cartoons, like it kind of like incorporates all that into this persona. He goes out in the hallway to leave, and he's trying to sneak past his landlord's room or apartment because she's like very much like, she doesn't want any noise whatsoever. You're not even allowed to watch cartoons in your own apartment, you son of a bitch. Yeah. So he's sneaking. I like how
he like fucking when he puts it in. I feel like he watched these. I don't know what this has to do with anything. I'm a little inebriated now, but I just like the way he laughs at it is like so funny to me because it's like this motherfucker watched these like 1,000, and it just starts like at a random part of the cartoon. He's just like,
yeah, it's not even from the beginning.
He's like fucking knee slapping the shit he's watched like 5 times, like 1,000 fucking times before.
Yeah. So yeah, he's trying to sneak past his landlord's apartment, and he's like, talking about be very quiet and all that, and doesn't he look at the camera and go like shh or something with his gigantic teeth? And
I don't know if he looks at the camera.
Does he not?
I don't know.
I thought
Lance,
he did,
we'll let you decide, Lance.
Yes.
All right, there you go. He does.
Okay. I, to be honest with you, I zoned out what you guys were talking about.
Oh, all right, it's fine. So he's sneaking past the landlord's apartment, and then an alarm clock jumps out of his pocket, starts bouncing around the hallway, and instead of trying to catch it quietly, he brings out a giant mallet to try and smash the hammer. He misses several times, puts a hole in the wall, puts a hole in the floor. He finally breaks the alarm clock, and then the landlord opens the door. And she looks at him and screams, and she's wearing like a green like beauty mask or whatever. And she screams, and he looks at her and screams, and it's a good nice little cool little parallel because they're both green, and his eyeballs and tongue like kind of like are over exaggerated, and they're like popping out of his head and all that. And then she tries to shoot him with a shotgun, and he jumps out the window. All right, hold on. I actually made notes so I can remember everything that happened on each night. See, I was prepared for this one. You son of a bitch. So he's going down the street, kicking his feet, and some thanks.
I thought it was good. That was good, Cody.
So some young thugs approach him on the street, and they threaten him. So he goes down an alley, and when they follow him down the alley, he is like got like this little stand set up, and he's making balloon animals. Step right up, he makes a giraffe for somebody. Then he makes a poodle, and when he tries to hand the poodle, he pops, and he's like, "Sorry, the dog was rabid. We had to put it down."
Then he pulls out a fucking condom.
Yeah, oh yeah, he does pull out the condom. He's like, "Oh, wrong pocket," and throws it away. And then
he doesn't even wrap it up for the fucking, you know how you're supposed to tie them when you throw them away. Like, what a bastard.
And then he pulls out a black balloon and turns it into a Tommy gun and starts shooting at all the thugs. And his final stop for the night, which, by the way, this is the thing that as a kid taught me what a Tommy gun was. And as a small child, I loved the balloon scene, even though I didn't know what the condom was.
You're like, "Mommy, what's that weird balloon?" I think I made that joke.
She's like, I've had 3 kids. I don't know. Hey, just in case Cody didn't hear me, I don't want him to listen to this and get mad. It's like he asked his mom. She goes, "I've had 3 kids. I don't know."
So his final stop for the night is at the mechanic, because he kicks the door down. And he yells, "It's time for an upgrade," while he holds 2 giant exhaust pipes. And next thing you know, he's waking up in his apartment in the morning. And, thinks it's all a dream. He hears a knock at the door. It's Detective Kellaway, or Lieutenant Kellaway, whatever. He's questioning him about the ruckus that was out in the hallway last night. He's confused. He's like, "She shot off a shotgun 5 feet from your front door and you didn't hear a thing." And he's like, "Sorry, I have an inner ear thing." And now you make a comment about his pajamas because, that's going to come back later. And he's like, it's such like a 1950s joke too. But it's like, when he realizes that it wasn't a dream, he's just like talking to himself. He's like, "That's impossible." And he's like, "No, those pajamas are impossible. This really happened." Like, it's just such an old 1950s type joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's wrong with his fucking pajamas? I have pajamas that have fucking top ramen
penises
on them. Yeah, I want that too.
Well, hey, think about this though, Cody. Like, this movie came out in '94, so if that joke was in 1950, that would have been 44 years from that point. Well, right now we're 23, it's 43 years from 1980. And that doesn't seem like that long ago, but it's the same amount of time practically. So really, for that time, it was probably something an older generation of fans that are watching this movie like got the reference, or they've seen in like Looney Tunes cartoons, because they always joked about that kind of thing too. But it's it's kind of funny you think of a time like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. So Stanley gets ready for work because he's running late. He goes. Before he gets to work, they cut to the mechanic, and I think Peggy. This is where they introduce Peggy, right? 'Cause she's on the scene reporting on it or whatever. And
yeah, because there's a tailpipe of one of the mechanics' butt.
Yeah, they're rolling them out on stretchers. They've got tailpipes there. And Peggy's asking like one of the police officers or whatever, or I think it's Kellaway. No, it's not Kellaway. I can't remember. Asking one of the police officers, was it a mob attack or whatever? And he's like, "Look, she cracked the case." And then it cuts to the bank. Stanley is late. His boss gets on to him about it. Sees the makes some comment about like, well, if you weren't oogling pictures of women or whatever, then maybe you could get to work on time. And then he looks at the newspaper and sees that it's Cameron Diaz's character, Tina. And he's like, "Well, next time she comes in, why don't you just send her to my office or whatever?" And he's like a real fucking pervert and creep. And yeah, so right about that time, Charlie's basically telling Stanley, like, you need to get over your obsession with Tina. She's not, that's never going to happen. You need someone with red hair and pouty lips and a white blouse. He's like, "Well, that's oddly specific, Charlie." And he's like, "Too bad she's taken," and goes and talks to Peggy, and she's like, I'm actually looking for Stanley. And she goes and talks to Stanley, they're like, oh yeah, I'm Mr. Nice Guy, I wrote, the letter. And she's like, oh, well, there's hundreds of women in the city that want a guy like you. He's like, really? And she's like, yes, I'm one of them. And then like runs off. And basically she was asking if he had any information on the mechanic attack. The mechanic attack on Titan. And he doesn't, obviously, because he's not going to admit, like, hey, I'm the mask. And
like, yeah, I shoved the mufflers up their fucking assholes. What are you going to do about it?
And I took a blowtorch
and there's a plot point that I didn't get. Did he write he wrote like a segment for the newspaper where he's like a sexy little dude or something?
Yeah, so Peggy, her main job at the paper, she runs a editorial column called Ask Peggy or something like that.
Yeah.
And so people anonymously send in letters, and he wrote in a letter where it was called Nice Guys Finish Last. And he signed it as Mr. Nice Guy, and it was basically talking about how nice guys can't ever get women or whatever.
Dude, he's an incel.
Yeah, a little bit. It's just him in his pajamas.
He's like, freaking roasties, keep not fucking me. This is bullshit.
When Peggy gives him her card, he's like, well, thank you, my lady.
Yeah. He's like, I don't accept cards from femoids. Sorry.
He's like, thank you, my lady, and he tipped his fedora.
Yeah, his fucking the mask fedora.
You might have to help me here. I don't remember if anything happens between this point and the beginning of this night. Because I don't think he goes to the doctor until the next day.
No, he goes to the club. He goes to the club as the mask, right? No, he steals the mun.
Yeah. So okay, start of night 2. It's showing that these mobsters are getting ready to rob the bank. That's the whole point of Tina going to the bank to talk to Stanley. And then before they can enter the bank, the doors blow open and this tornado of a man comes running. It like comes blowing out, and he's got a bunch of bags of money. And I don't remember what he says to him, but they try shooting him, and he basically just like, or no, I don't even think they try shooting him. He just like turns back into a tornado and like goes off down the street. And then the cops show up and they get into a gunfight with the cops. And one of them gets hit. He's, my tummy got hit. And
why did they shoot at the cops immediately? They're like, cops, and then they immediately started like shooting. Like,
it's just such like a cheesy, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it fits.
Cops and robbers type thing. Yeah.
For the setting it fits, but it's so goofy. It made me laugh.
Yeah. You would think they were just trying to like run. So it's like damn, I can't remember his character's name. Christian Bale in American Psycho. Why is he blowing up all those cops? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Why are you stop sounding so fucking sad?
So then he goes to the club. He rolls up in this really long limousine, steps out all fly. Everyone's like all fascinated by him, like, ooh, who is this mysteriously green-faced man? And the bouncer's like,
like this doesn't stick out to them.
What?
It's like it doesn't stick out to them. This dude's got fucking green skin.
Yeah, it's weird. Like most people. Well, here's two things I kind of like took a mental note of. Right, no one seems to care that he has like a green face, but I guess everyone maybe assumes that as a mask. But even then, it's like, why are you okay with this guy just running around in a mask? You know what I mean? And two, people don't react to like the over like exaggerated cartoon style things that he does. Like everyone seems pretty chill with it when it happens, like in the dance number that we're about to get to. But it's just like, okay, whatever. I guess it's a comic book world. The bouncer comes up to him. He's like, hey, I can't let you in this club. And he pulls out a bunch of money. He's like, let me introduce you to my friends, Franklin Hamilton and Jackson, right? I can't remember who's on the 50. I think it's Hamilton. Andrew, like whatever. He throws it all up, goes in the club. He sits down at a table at the back. Tina comes out to sing. You kind of get the instinct now that Dorian and Tina are how do you say?
That scared the shit out of me, Lance. Holy fuck.
My bad.
That they're lovers, and he's like, he sits down. When he sees Tina come out, he has like the very Looney Tunes style, like his jaw like drops and hits the table, and his tongue rolls out,
and his eyes become boners.
Yeah, and then he turns into the wolf face, and he's like, and starts like banging on the table and stuff. Yeah. And yeah, and bangs on his head with a hammer to keep his horniness at bay. And,
that's me right now.
And then he jumps up on stage and he spins the drummer around, and he's all of a sudden in a different suit, and he starts playing like this big like swing number. And for some reason, everybody else's clothes are changed all of a sudden, and he gets down there and he starts like dancing. And there was a dance move he does that made me laugh, where it's kind of like he's galloping almost, like he's kind of like rocking his hips and like flinging like one leg out. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain.
I can't remember.
But yeah, it's hard for me. It's hard to explain. But anyway, there's a dance move that made me laugh. He starts dancing with Tina. Dorian is in the club getting tipsy, and he gets called upstairs because the guy that got shot in his tum-tum is upstairs. And he's like, I'm dying. And,
he's like, suck on this, and he pulls out his cock and makes him suck on it.
I need you to get the venom out. I thought you were shot.
Suck on this. I'm sorry. That was stupid. God. But when the guy gave him the cigarette and said, suck on this, that's the first thing that went in my head. I was like, he just unzips his cock out.
Oh, God. It's so stupid.
He's like, no, get away from me.
But he dies. He breaks his TV, which it looks like he has a flat screen TV, too. And, like, I don't know if maybe it's just built into the wall, but it's like, damn, that's an expensive TV for 1994.
It's the future, dude.
Yeah, and one of the other mobsters or whatever that was there, he's like, "Oh, boss, it's him. He's out there." And he looks out the window and he's like, "The guy dancing with Tina, he's dead." And his little dance number goes. He's dancing with Tina. He's rocking out. And right when it ends, Dorian shows up and tries to shoot him, and shoots off part of his tie, which changes into his pajamas. And they have a little this part made me laugh too, but where he's like changing into a bunch of different characters and like to dodge the bullets. Like he turns into like a Russian dancer, and some other stuff.
The Russian thing when he's like, "Hi, hi, 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 hi."
Yeah.
that gets me every time when he does the Russian part.
And he turns into the cowboy and gets hit, and he like, and like stumbles his way.
Okay, this is the best part of the movie for me when he's like, pull me closer, Ted, or something like that. And he's like, and the guy's holding him starts crying, and it's just fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah, I love how he's turning away to cough every time in between like each one of his like impressions or whatever, and then on the last one he just like looks right in his face and coughs in his face.
Hey, this dude has a hairstyle that I may rock myself, where he's got his head shaved, but he's got the little Goro ponytail.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can obviously tell this guy's bald on top, so he has it shaved where he still has hair. And I'm like, I could probably rock that. I don't know how Savannah would like that, but I think I could rock that.
Oh, the cue, the fucking like weird cue that he has. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. is obviously like bald on top, but he just has the length of the hair grown out on the back of his head, and the rest of it shaved, to where it looks like it's a choice, and not that he's got male pattern baldness.
Yeah, that's like
But it's like an extreme,
ancient
it's an extreme Hulk
hairstyle
Hogan.
that he was bringing back, I guess.
No, it's an excuse to have hair when you don't have hair. It's like an extreme Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, the Hulkster.
Listen,
Brother.
brother, I want
Listen.
you to get behind me and grab me by the ponytail.
Hey, he gets
I
an
have
Academy Award.
Nothing in the front, party in the back.
I was there with Noah, and I helped them build the ark, brother. That's a callback to our wrestler episode. The part where he gets right after he does the little dying, and then he gets the Academy Award, and everybody's just
you.
acting like this is fucking normal.
They love me. They really love me.
This is straight up that's straight up Looney Tunes. Like Bugs Bunny would do that shit, and he'd get like people stand up clapping, and it was just that was a nice little nod. And then it goes out the window, and the dude pulls a gun in his face.
Yeah. So yeah, he escapes. The cops show up, obviously, because they've been shooting guns off in this club, and obviously Kellaway finds the scrap of pajamas on the floor, and he's like, "Do you have a warrant, detective?" And he's like, I don't need a fucking warrant. You're firing firearms off in a damn public building, you moron. You fucking idiot. Maybe you should go back to school, huh?
Yeah, you should just beat the shit out of him.
You fucking
Right there.
gabagool.
You fucking stramad, fucking A.
So yeah, let's see. The next day, Kellaway's starting to get suspicious that fuck, I already forgot his name. What the hell is Jim Carrey's name in this?
Penis something. I can't remember his
Something Ipkiss. What is his first name?
Ipkiss. Yeah. I want to say it
Damn
starts
it.
with an L.
Stanley.
Who's Penman? Someone's like name is Penis Man or some shit in this fucking
I don't
movie.
know.
There's like every time they say this character's name, I think of Penis Man.
I do love like when the detective's like talking to his partner. He's like, Doyle.
Doyle.
Because Doyle's such an idiot.
That dude's a fucking moron.
Yeah. like, we'll get to it later. But so he's starting to suspect that it's Stanley because he found the pajamas. He's like, well, no one else in this town would wear pajamas like these. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know, boss. They're just pajamas. They're just pajamas.
I remembered who it was. It's his landlord, his Peen Man.
Oh, so childish. So yeah, that day he goes and sees the doctor that wrote the book on Mask, and he's like, "Well, get ready to." No, he tells him, this mask is a representation of Loki or whatever, which is a big part of the comics, and I think Loki actually shows up in the Son of the Mask, and he's like, well, I'm not responsible for anything that may happen, and he puts it up to his face. He's like, and like trying to get the mask to work, and he's like, well, you said he's a night god, so maybe it only works at night. All right, cool. And then Ben Stein tells him, like, you need to get help, like professional help, because you're cuckoo. I think this is when, let's see. Oh, he runs into Tina. I think Tina comes back to the bank, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like they talk, and he takes her upstairs, and he tells her like, "Oh yeah, I can get you the hookup. I know that guy. I went to school with him. I went to college with him. We graduated with honors, both of us. But my honors are better. I taught him everything he knows." And she's like, "Great, Landfill Park then." It's like, "All right, cool." So that night at Landfill Park, he shows up. He's, "Oh, I just wanted to make sure that your meeting got off in the right way." It's kind of weird because like when the mask shows up, when he turns into the mask, she basically like doesn't want to be around him. Like it almost seems like she would rather just have Stanley there, you know. But it also could be because the mask like is coming on very strong here. This is when he makes like the comments, like he makes all like the metaphors using French cuisine and talk about dipping his baguette and all that, whatever.
It's like, I will give you the dick, le penis.
And he tells her, you're a rose, and you're making me thorny. And she knees him in the balls. And the detectives who have been like monitoring the situation this whole time like pop out. They're like, Stanley, freeze! And he escapes the park. And when he gets out there, there's a bunch of cops out there. Like he boards up the door and all that. Puts like, you know, very very cartoony. You know, he like nails boards to the doors or the gate and all that. And turns around, there's a bunch of cops, and then you get a little Cuban music number, right, where he's like, you know, when I'm mariachi, bitty bitty bum bum, and he's dancing with everybody. He's dancing with the female cop, starts making her sing, and she's like, at first she's like, I don't know what's happening. She's like, you know what, I kind of dig it, and sucker, dig it, and this dance number goes on. And he runs off down an alley, I think, after Kellaway and them get through the gate finally. And he takes the mask off, and he sees Peggy pull up, and she's like, Stanley, come on. Oh, I should also say that Dorian is upset with the mask, so he's like put out a bounty on his head. He wants him there, and he wants him alive. Peggy pulls up, it's like, Stanley, come on. He jumps in the car, and he drives her to a warehouse, or like a factory. I guess it's a printing factory or whatever. They make newspapers. Makes sense, right? Because she's a reporter. And it's all been a betrayal. She's tricked him. She delivers him to Dorian. She gets her $50,000. She's like, you know, I got to keep my condo. And, you know, I guess nice guys do finish last, don't they, Stanley? And he said, but my lady. And they...
But I showed you my collection of 6-inch Dragon Ball Z figures.
Yeah. How could you do this after seeing my wonderful my Gundam models on my shelf?
You fucking whore! You ruined my life.
I guess I'll just, if I get out of this, I'm gonna go home and caress my Sailor Moon doll. So, Dorian takes the mask, puts it on, and he becomes this ugly monstrosity. He's
a different actor, too.
Oh, it reminds me, I was going to look up who actually, if someone else plays him when he's the mask.
Well, I just said he did, but go ahead, it's fine.
What'd you say, Lance?
I said there's a different actor playing him.
Yeah, Garrett T. Sato.
He's a big motherfucker.
Is he
I was
Japanese?
I was kind of hoping it was Randy Savage, but
Randy Savage wasn't that fucking big.
I know. So yeah, he takes the mask. He turns into this big hulking, like, ugly dude, and he's like, because Dorian's like not a good guy, he basically is turned into like this monster, and it kind of brings out more of his evil side. And they're like, well, let's turn him into the cops. So they turn him into the cops. He's like, it's not like Stanley Ipkiss is just gonna fall into my lap, and then he's like literally thrown at him from a moving vehicle. And
that part was pretty funny.
They put him in jail. He's like, oh no, you know, this is the end. They won't listen to me about the real story of the mask. They planted like a fake green rubber mask on him, so they're like, yeah, we got you, punk. And they put him in there with his dirty toilet and no walls, and because, you know, the guard can see right through the bars. Like, yeah, I see you over there taking a shit. And that's the thing that I thought of when he was like putting toilet paper on the seat, and then he's like trying to tell the guard that like Tina's being chased down the alley. And he's like, I don't care, Stanley. And he's like, you can literally just see him right there.
That reminds me of when I went to MEPS, and like they have a room where there's urinals on the side. They make you piss in a cup, and you're fucking like dick to ass in a line with a bunch of guys. And there's a dude standing in front of everybody, and he's just looking like he's trying so hard not to look at your cock, so like you're pissing into this cup for him.
Wait, what is this for?
This is for military enlistment processing station. They
What
make
the hell
you.
is that?
It's before you enlist.
Were you enlisting in the military?
Yeah, I was enlisting in the Navy.
I didn't know that. I'm glad I can't. Like literally, just a side note. In high school, I was like literally a day away from signing my final paperwork from joining the Navy, and I went to my guidance counselor because that's how they operate through high school, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Can you just tell them I'm not interested? Like I don't want to do this. And I'm even happier now learning that.
Yeah. Did they hound you after that?
No, I never heard from them again. But I guess our guidance counselor did a pretty good job of being like, look, don't bother him, you know.
Yeah, I went to MEPS, but then after that, I was like, fuck this shit. But
I don't want to see other guys' dicks.
yeah, but yeah, they made us line up in a line, and then we had to piss in a little cup, and we had to face this dude who had to watch us, so to make sure we weren't cheating on our piss test. And there were like little lines drawn out for where you have to stand. And the dude was really funny. Like he looked really goofy.
Cody. Owen, let me ask you something. Was there like, what is that game? I know they have it at Chuck E. Cheese. They have it at Dave and Buster's, where you roll the ball up and you can like hit 130.
Yeah, skee ball.
Yeah, skee ball. Was it like peeing like skee ball though? You had to hit certain levels.
Like,
hey, good job.
I'm trying to think. No, I mean you held the cup. Like nobody else held the cup for you. It was just really, it was really surreal, and I think I was too young to like realize how fucking weird it was.
The guy in front of you has to hold the cup behind him for you to pee in.
Yeah, no, I was front. I was the front. I was in the front, and there was like 5 dudes behind me. So
you feel a little tickle on.
You know what they were.
Yeah, I felt. I was like, why's my back all wet? What the fuck?
Hey, you know they're all thinking behind Owen going, fresh fish. He's got a pretty mouth.
Yeah, what they were shocked by is that I had to put my cup on the floor and just lift my dick in the cup. You know what I'm saying? I had to coil my dick around the cup and like fucking leave it like hanging into the cup like a hose, like on the ground.
Speaking of blue balls from Owen's test facility, when Stanley is in jail, Tina comes to see him, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm finally going to get a big old fat kiss. This will be something for me to think of the next 10 years while I'm in prison." And the guard's like, "Time's up, lady." But before that happens, she tells him that I've got to go. I'm leaving town, and I'll let you know as soon as I can. Because I don't want to be around Dorian anymore. Now that he's got the mask, he's terrible, like he wasn't before. It's like, all right. So he's putting some TP all over the toilet, getting ready to take a big old poopy. And it's like, man, what a
how relatable is that though? Like in a public restroom, you're like, I gotta make a nest.
I just piss all over the seat now to establish my dominance.
This is my territory. He sees her being chased by some mobsters out the window. He tries to tell the guard. The guard's like, I don't care. I'm going back to sleep. I'm tired. And Dorian catches up with Tina. He's like, where you going, babe? What's the suitcase for? No, you got to come to the party. We got a big old shindig tonight. When they're driving to get ready for the charity ball or going to the charity ball, she tries to light a cigarette. He's like, I wouldn't do that if I was you. And he lifts up a blanket, and there's a bunch of explosive in the car. At some point, Milo, Stanley's dog, I don't think I've mentioned him at all during this whole plot recap. Milo gets out because before they deliver Stanley to the cops, they ask him where the money's at. So they show up at his apartment and get the money from his closet. And while they're there, Milo sneaks out, and somehow he sees Stanley down in the car, and he follows him, and so he's basically following him all the way to the police station, and he's been sleeping outside the whole time. Stanley's like, Milo, buddy, you gotta go find a new home, and Milo's like, no, I'm gonna sleep under this newspaper. So he calls Milo. He jumps up to the window. He gets him through, and he tells him, "Hey, go get those keys." And he gets the keys from the cop. I love it because this dog, like, he like grabs the keys, right, and he kind of like pulls on him a little bit, and he's like staring at the cop, like almost like he's checking to make sure he's not going to wake up. And then he pulls the keys out and runs back to Stanley. And the running gag in this is that every time he like brings something to Stanley, he doesn't want to let it go. So like Stanley's trying to like pull it out. Oh, something else that made me laugh when when Milo's trying to jump up to the window for Stanley to grab him. He's like, come on. And he's like, put some effort into it. It's just, I don't know why it got me, but it's just Jim Carrey, I guess.
Yeah, the dog is a real standout. Shout out to the dog.
Yeah, shout out to the dog whose real name is Max, by the way. Which, funny enough, there would be a Max in How the Grinch Stole Christmas. You see, it all comes back around, people.
It does.
So he gets out. He gets out. He takes the cop's gun, bashes him in the back of the head, probably giving him permanent brain damage. He can't see out of his right eye now. And Kellaway comes through, and he's like, all right, I don't want to do this, but we got to go. You're going to walk me out of this police station. I don't know how people don't see that he's got a gun behind his back when they're walking down the front steps either. But I guess these are the most unobservant cops in the world. And Doyle's out there, and he's like, hey, where you going? And he's like, I don't remember what he says. He's like, oh, he's like, he speaks Pig Latin to him and tries to tell him he has a gun. And he's just like, oh, I get it, Pig Latin. It's just so stupid. And they get in the car and drive off. And they're driving to the charity ball. We're almost there, folks. The last night of the film. Last night, I saw a film. As I recall, it was a horror film. And then I just in my pants. Okay, whatever.
My pants.
Dorian gets to the club first. Thank you, Seth. Dorian gets to the club first.
Oh!
What? What's happening?
When you belched, I said, thank you, Seth.
Who the fuck is Seth?
Seth Rogen, it's a callback.
Oh, okay. Oh, dude, I just had to like smoke some weed and like take a burp.
Take a burp. Hey,
whoa, dude.
I'll be back, boss. I gotta go take a 5-minute burp break. So Dorian gets to the club or the charity ball first. It's his boss that's basically running it because everything in this town apparently is run by the mob. He's like, I've come back to. I'm just a disgruntled employee coming to get my back pay, or should I say payback? And then a gunfight ensues. The boss like stands up and shoots a bunch of rounds in Dorian, and they all kind of like close up in his body. They're like, and they're all the bullets are in his mouth, and he spits them out at the guy, kills him. He's like, yeah, that's right.
He goes, bitch.
Yeah, stay down, bitch. As a kid, I loved that like effect or whatever, like the bullet holes all closing up, and then him like spitting them out. Anyway, that's just a little side note for all you fine people out there.
I hate it when people spit. I'm more of a swallower kind of fan. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, hey,
like a cat.
Hey, Owen, I'll be over later, okay, buddy?
What'd you say?
I said, hey, Owen, I'll be over later, okay?
Oh, man. So Stanley's outside. He leaves the detective in there. He gives him the walkie. He's like, call for backup. He's like, Max, stay here and be a good boy. And he's like, Daddy's got to go kick some ass. And he gets out, runs off. Kellaway's like, oh, he's a dead man. Runs into the club. Everybody's in the club getting tipsy. I know I made that joke already. He's sneaking around. He finds Charlie because Charlie's there because Charlie had tickets to it. Whatever. That's a plot point from earlier. He's like, Charlie, here's a gun. Sneak these people out the back. And before they know you were there, that's a Mike Shinoda reference, people. Fort Minor. Styles of Beyond. Sorry, I've been drinking a little bit.
I've got so far to lose it all.
It's Linkin Park. Not
Yeah,
Fort
I thought
Minor,
I thought Mike Shinoda was fucking in Linkin Park.
Yeah, but he's also Fort Minor. That's why that's why I said Fort Minor specifically.
I only know him from Linkin Park.
You don't know, remember the name and where'd you go? Where'd you go? I miss you so. Anyway, everyone knows. Remember
Finish
the
it,
name.
Cody.
That fucking song. That song was like blared on everything. It was like an NBA playoffs theme song, like a year or two, and it was like all over the place. Anyway, Charlie's going to take care of people, sneaking them out the back, and Stanley gets caught. He Tina's tied up, and they set the explosive out, and Dorian's up there next to her, and he's like, "This is it, baby," and she's like, "I just want."
That's literally how he sounds too. He's like literally like every line of dialogue when he has the mask is like, "You're gonna suck my cock one last time." He's like, boss, the building's about to explode. No, wait.
There's always time for one more kiss.
There's always time to get my dick shut. One last time.
Oh God, I love it. This episode's just as demented as I wanted it to be.
We all decided to drink for some reason. Like how before we even came on, I was like, "Yeah, I'm already drinking." Like so.
She's like, "I just want to kiss," and he's like, "Okay," and like this big old snake tongue comes out of his mouth. She's like,
You could pleasure a couple pussies with that, you know.
Just stack them up and lick them like a stack of Oreos. Anyway, she's like, "No, from the real Dorian." So he takes off the mask and she kicks it, and it goes flying through the air for like 30 minutes. And Max gets a hold of it because Max got out of the car and went inside because he's like, "I got to go save Dad." He goes, he's grabbed. It made me feel bad whenever he got grabbed and he like yelps. I know it's just a movie, whatever. And he gets the mask on, and he is demented looking. He starts attacking the guy that grabbed him. He's like biting a lot of people in the butt and ripping their pants off, or parts of their pants off.
He's a butt muncher.
Yeah, he is a butt muncher. He's a butt hound.
Yeah, ass hound, hellhound for booty.
He also has like this chuckle or like this sort of laugh he does too, like
Yeah, he's like Scooby Doo, dude. He's like,
yeah. So he makes his way back to Stanley. Stanley takes the mask off of him, and he goes to put it on, and he gets shot out of his hand and flies behind the bar. And Stanley runs and dives behind the bar, and all of a sudden you see him, all the stuff going nuts over there because he's put the mask on. He pops up, and he takes a drink. He starts drinking something, and like all of it starts like pouring out of his bullet holes or whatever in his body. Very like Lance already pointed out before. It's very Looney Tunes, right? So I'm trying to remember. Oh, thinking.
he pulls out his fake guns. He's like, "You got 20 seconds
Oh,
to get
yeah.
the fuck out of here."
No, that's right. And everyone starts running, and he like pulls the triggers, and like a bunch of flags and stuff start popping out of them. I still don't remember how this ends. I know like we have to get somewhere where the cops show up. The backup finally shows up, but he goes and he swallows the bomb. He goes to untie Tina, but there's not that much time left, so he swallows the bomb, and it blows up in his stomach. And because he's a cartoon character, it doesn't hurt him. And then Dorian comes running over because he's going to like. Oh yeah, they do get in a fist fight before he puts the mask on too. But anyway, Dorian steps into the water. The mask paints a like flush lever on the tree that Tina's tied to, and he flushes Dorian down the drain, and that's Dorian gone. I guess he's dead. He probably drowned. And he unties Tina, takes the mask off. They finally kiss. His blue balls are finally satisfied.
He said, "I can finally have sex. I'm not an incel anymore."
And the backup shows up. The cops all show up. They start arresting mobsters. They're going to arrest Stanley, and the mayor who was at the charity ball is like, no. Dorian was the mask. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. And he also, Kellaway calls him like Tubby or something like that. He's like, bumps into him. He's like, "Get out of my way, fatso." And he's like, "The fuck you say to me? You're fired." And he's like, "I want to see you in my office tomorrow morning."
Suck on this.
And then so Charlie tries to take credit for some of it, like a little weasel he is. And Stanley, Charlie, and Tina get in their car.
Who's Charlie?
Charlie's his friend from the
Oh yeah, his friend. I forgot. My bad.
Yeah. So they drive off into the sunset, but they stop on the bridge where all of this began. And Stanley Tina's like, "Are you sure about this?" He's like, "I'm sure. I don't need the fedora anymore." And he throws the hat out into the water. And
it's backwards. Like fucking. I think it was fucking the main guy who was like, "Are you sure about this?" And the lady was like, she threw it, not him.
Oh, is that how it happened?
Yeah, that's how it happened.
Stanley got on Reddit and unsubscribed from r/incel.
Yeah, r/brain cell. He's like fucking. He's like, he makes a post on his fucking Twitter. He's like, "Why I left r/brain cell."
And then they drive off into the sunset where they inevitably end up somewhere, and he cucks Charlie. So that's the end. And I guess I don't remember the son of the mask, but I'm guessing somehow the mask ends up in a different family's possession. And
some other guy has it or some bullshit. I just remember thinking that was the most fucking boringest movie I'd ever watched, and I was like 6.
It's considered
so
one
like
of the
that says a
worst
lot.
movies of all time.
Because I was fucking stupid when I was 6 years old. I liked Turok Evolution when I was 6 years old, dude.
Hey Owen, it says it's like it's considered one of the worst movies ever.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. It's a critical failure and a box office failure.
That movie sucked my
that's
fucking
basically
balls.
That's basically what killed the Mask franchise for a long time. They, as we already talked about earlier, they did make a spin-off animated series of this. It ran for a few seasons.
Does he kill anybody in that? Like fucking brutally murder anybody?
No, I think it's very much a continuation or like inspired by the movie, so it's not really drawing anything from the comics.
Yeah, it's funny that this movie. I mean, I guess it makes sense that this movie did so well. I remember like hearing about there being like a contest, like for like a Nintendo Power, where somebody could, like, if you got like a high score in some fucking Nintendo game, you could be like an extra in like The Mask 2. Like, and this was back in like the early '90s when the first movie first came out. But I guess they never made The Mask 2. They just made The Son of the Mask, and like fucking 10 years later. So
yeah,
but I don't know what the deal was with Mask 2. Do you know anything about that? Does that show up on anything?
Well, they had a contest in like some kind, either the comic book or something, that if the fan won, they would get a cameo in the new Mask movie. Well, Jim Carrey bailed on that Mask movie because it was going to happen within the next couple of years, and they ended up giving the winner of the contest like a cash equivalent of what the cameo role would have paid, I guess. So they just ended up giving that because that's what ended up delaying, I guess, the movie, because Jim Carrey he bailed on it. He wasn't going to do it.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
that's
so
the lore
it looks like
that you found?
it looks like, according to this, yes, it was announced in Nintendo Power that they would be making a sequel. Chuck Russell talked about this in 1996 about how he wanted Jim Carrey to come back, as well as the actress that played Peggy. Carrey revealed in a 1995 Barbara Walters special that he was offered $10 million to star in the sequel, but turned it down because doing the sequel to Ace Ventura basically showed him that there's no challenge in doing a character again. So he didn't want to do a sequel, which, he kind of like went. I don't think he really did any sequels after that Ace Ventura movie until like Dumb and Dumber 2, maybe.
That was unfortunately.
Yeah. The winner of that failed contest was given $5,000 and other prizes as an apology. And in 2012. Wow. In 2001 there was a new writer lined up to do the script. And then that's kind of where it ended up becoming what it ended up being. So I guess because Jim Carrey bailed on it, shortly, like a year or so after this film came out, they kind of just scrapped it until a few years later when they decided to do a new thing.
Yes.
But now they are trying to. Mike Richardson has said that they've been trying to get this film started for several years now. They're trying to like bring back a new movie, probably a complete reboot, and the comic book series. And they've apparently just had a few times where they've tried to do something and nothing's really gone through. So they're trying, but And now that Embracer owns Dark Horse, who the fuck knows what's actually going to happen with
Dark
it.
Horse is going to get closed.
Yeah, probably.
Mark these.
Because Embracer thought they needed to buy fucking 80 damn video game studios for some reason.
THQ is going to get fucking killed again. It's fucked up.
Yeah. Well, I would like to go ahead and let's kill this podcast because my computer's about to die. I'm like halfway across the room from the plug, and it would mess up my recording space for me to do that.
Okay, all right. Let's run through. All right, Lance, do you recommend this film?
No, I do not. Not like I said earlier. The movie just kind of wears on me. Like, I like Jim Carrey overacting as Jim Carrey. I don't need Jim Carrey wearing a mask to be overacting, and it just kind of being an homage to Looney Tunes. And maybe I would have enjoyed this movie a little bit more if we hadn't just watched Roger Rabbit, like I said, about a month ago. And because, I see all that stuff. I've watched a bunch of Looney Tunes since then, and it's like, okay, I've seen that. It's not entertaining seeing it in a movie. I'd rather just watch the cartoon. But, Jim Carrey's incredible. And, period in this movie. And, Cameron Diaz, I think she did okay. She was actually going to get the part of Sonya in Mortal Kombat in the 1995 movie because of the dailies that were being printed from this movie. Like, they were impressed so much, but she ended up breaking her wrist and couldn't do it, so they went with another actress. So, yep, that's the whole thing. But now I wouldn't recommend this movie. Go watch Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, or Liar Liar. So
cool.
Okay. All right. What about you, Owen?
I like this movie. I think it's a fun watch. It's I don't know. I like the set design and stuff, and even though some of the special effects have aged, I still think there's some fun in it. It's not like the fucking most thought-provoking movie ever made, but it's still fun to watch. So, if you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it. But I wouldn't watch it by yourself because you probably won't enjoy it. I don't know. Bring somebody along.
Okay.
Yeah, your mom.
Yeah. Doing your mom. Doing your mom.
I definitely recommend it. I did watch it by myself this morning. Loved it. I freaking still love this movie. I don't know. Nostalgia probably does play a little bit into it because, as far as I remember, this or Batman Forever would probably be the first Jim Carrey movies I ever saw. But I absolutely love this film. So, yeah, I definitely recommend it. Now, just to wrap this up real quick, Lance, I know your next film is Mortal Kombat Legends Battle of the Realms, correct?
Yes, sir. The Hanzo Asashi Appreciation Tour continues on.
Oh, Hansel.
Owen, do you know what your next movie is going to be?
No, I don't. I'm definitely not in the state of mind to choose.
My next movie, I already know. Because when I ordered The Mask on Blu-ray, it came in a little double pack. And that double pack had what other movie in it, Lance?
Oh,
the
Son of the Man.
The Hills Have Eyes.
It had Dumb and Dumber in it. So guess
Oh,
what, bitches?
Jesus, you're dumb.
We're doing Dumb and Dumber for my next movie.
Yeah, buddy, I can do that now. I can do that.
So, yeah, that's it. That's it for this episode. Thank you for listening. Follow us on Twitter. And, you know, I'm still going to call it Twitter. X.
Don't dead name X, bro.
Elon wants to call it. You know, maybe by the time this publishes, it'll be called something else.
It'll be called Y.
It'll be called
It'll be called My Ass.
It'll be called Small PP Boy. And we have a Facebook page. Go like us on Facebook. Share this with your friends if you enjoyed it. I feel like this is a good episode because we laughed a lot, and that's usually a good indication of it being a good episode.
Yeah.
So so that's it. Our next episode, like I said, is Mortal Kombat Legends Battle of the Realms. So be there or be square. And Lance, sign us out, buddy.
Finish him.
Finish him.